A 2009 Sports Illustrated report revealed that about 60% of NBA players go completely broke 5 years after retirement. Now in 2020, it doesn't look like that number has changed. In this video, we'll be covering the most mind-blowing money blunders that led NBA players who used to live in a mansion to be begging for spare quarters in the street. This is 7 NBA players who are losing all their money. Number 7. Kenny Anderson. New York is often considered the city where NBA legends are made. Hundreds of great basketball players originated from the city, from Kareem Abdul-Jabbar to Carmelo Anthony. Kenny Anderson is often considered one of the greats, being an excellent prep player throughout his 14-year career. Retiring from the league in 2005, Anderson made out with over $63 million. But just weeks following his retirement, the star player filed for bankruptcy. The reason? A series of bad marriages that led to his downfall. His ex-wife, Tammy Roman, had no shame when she appeared on VH1's hit show Basketball Wives, proudly showing off her newfound cash with a license plate that reads, "His Cash." Things continued deteriorating for Anderson until he got fired from his job in 2013 for getting a DUI. Thankfully, throughout the past few years, he's been turning things around, even making a documentary about his struggles titled Mr. Chibbs. Number 6. Jason Williams. Williams was always an odd one out when it came to the NBA. Unlike most other players who peak at their mid-20s, he wouldn't reach an all-star game until the age of 30. Right when he was reaching some serious accolades, he had a career-ending injury at the age of 31. Throughout his career, he earned over $64 million, but a string of bad decisions would bankrupt him in just a few years following his retirement. In 2002, he lost his job when he was arrested for allegedly accidentally shooting his limo driver while playing with a firearm in the back seat. In 2010, after an extensive legal battle, he was finally sentenced to 27 months in prison over this tragedy. His lawyer revealed that Williams was essentially bankrupt during the trial. After being released in 2012, Williams seems to be turning his life around, and we wish him the best of luck. Number 5. Derek Coleman. Charles Barkley famously remarked that he believed Coleman would be the greatest power forward in the NBA's history after playing his first game against him. The rookie was showing great promise, but his career turned out to be a bit of a dud. Coleman wasn't bad by any means, but it seems that he played at the minimum level he needed to secure his next check. Business was Coleman's passion, and after retiring with $91 million in his pocket, he began investing in housing across Detroit. He was a man of the people and wanted to reinvigorate some of the poorest neighborhoods in the city. Unfortunately for him, he made these investments just months before the 2008 housing market crash that brought a depression the likes of which the country hadn't seen in a century, and Coleman's assets were completely wiped out, and the former player filed for bankruptcy in 2011. Thankfully, he was able to rebound and carved out a nice little life for himself. Number 4. Sean Kemp. The Rain Man was one of the league's fan favorites during his legendary run with the Seattle Supersonics, but after leaving the team in '97, things didn't turn out in his favor. He ballooned in weight, gaining 80 pounds, reducing him from NBA All-Star to bench warmer. This cut his career and earnings potential by a large amount, and he ended up getting arrested multiple times for alleged possession, but this wouldn't put a dent in his $92 million. No, the thing that would nearly bankrupt him was the 7 children he fathered to 6 different women. Cutting all those child support checks left Kemp with a fraction of what he had at the height of his career in the league. Number 3. Vin Baker. Baker's list of accolades is extensive. Being a 4-time NBA All-Stars winner and an Olympic gold medalist led him a massive fortune of $97 million. Baker was always a big spender, but the thing that did him in was his frequent drinking. His addiction had gotten so out of hand that he started to work at a coffee shop to make ends meet. The CEO of Starbucks, Howard Schultz, just so happened to be the former owner of the Supersonics, and he and Baker were friends. So, when Baker called him up looking for a job, Schultz hooked him up with managerial position at a local store. Number 2. Antoine Walker. Being friends with Michael Jordan from a young age, Antoine Walker had opportunities that few of us ever could dream to have. But unlike MJ, who grew his business empire after his retirement, Walker had the opposite fate. 1 year after his retirement in 2008, after making over $108 million, the former player was filing for bankruptcy. He ended up getting arrested for writing checks that wouldn't clear to multiple casinos throughout the country. In fact, he's now so infamous in casinos that he's been banned in every casino he used to frequent. He owed hundreds of thousands of dollars in gambling debts, but after an extensive legal battle, he was finally declared debt-free in 2013. Number 1. Allen Iverson. Topping this list is the most famous player in the NBA to go totally broke. Iverson succeeded Magic, Bird, and Jordan in the Lakers, bringing a suave element that elevated the Showtime brand to new heights. Earning over $154 million in his time with the NBA, he'd budgeted so poorly in 2012, a judge took control of his bank account after failing to pay a jewelry store $860,000. A staggering number for us was supposed to be pocket change for this legendary player. He wasn't completely broke, but the fact of the matter is that you don't get your bank account account taken from you if you're doing great financially. Well, that's all the time that we have for today. Let us know in the comments down below if you liked this video, and also don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the subscriber bell for weekly updates. See you in the next one.